Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is number 2 in the series for today. So, I did update the baseline prior to the video because, well, I wanted to surprise you a little bit. So, what was changed here, I believe Texas and Florida moved away from likely. Ohio, no, that's still neutral. This particular range, the Rust Belt, all went for likely, and I think Washington. But I did look ahead and found some new polling, so that's pretty good. And we can update everything. So let's go for the safe ones first. Let's do Democrat first because it's basically a Democrat category. Or a Democrat cycle in this particular case. So we have California goes to Schiff by about 27 points. Connecticut goes to Murphy by about 20. We have Rochester winning by about 14 points in Delaware. Hawaii goes to Hirona by about 42. We have Angus King winning by 25. We have Elizabeth Warren wins by 25. We have Klobuchar winning by 18. Jacqueline Rosen wins by 14 in this particular cycle. At least that's what I'm expecting today. Can it be closer? Sure. Not really going to happen. Sam Brown is a horrible candidate and a horrible campaigner. So that's not going to happen. We have New Jersey. New polling has arrived and Kim is doing a lot better. So it's a 13-point victory for now. Can it be a little closer? Sure. Can it be a little broader? Also possible. But in this particular case, it's going to be quite comfortable victory for Andy Kim. Last time I think I had New Mexico as safe. It's 9.7 still, so you can count it as a safe seat, but it's not really, technically speaking, according to the definition that I have. New York, 26 points for Gillibrand. White House in Rhode Island wins by about 22. Then we have Sanders winning by about 44. Tim Kaine wins by about 11. And the last one on the safe category would be Washington. Cantwell is going to win by about 25. So, that's for the safe Democrats. Safe Republicans. Indiana, James Banks wins by about 16 points. We have Roger Wicker. He wins by about 20. We have Dan Osborne. So we have the 2 seats here in Nebraska. So Pete Ricketts, he's going to win by at least 20, 22, 23, that particular range. Deborah Fisher, she's going to win by about 17. So no, there's not going to be a magic flip in that particular regard. Stop. Just get some help. Kevin Kramer, he's going to win by about 15, maybe 16. It's getting a little closer, but that's down ballot North Dakota for you. That's always a little bit closer, except for the governorship. Tennessee, Blackburn's going to win by about 22, 23 points in that particular range. John Curtis, he's going to win by about 25. It's going to be a little closer than normal because Curtis is basically a Democrat and many Republicans will simply outright refuse to vote for him. James Justice, he's going to win by about 46, 47, and that's going to be the biggest victory in the election cycle this time around. Wyoming's going to go to Barrasso by about 42, 43, but it's not going to be the biggest victory of the cycle. Alright, so that's the safe seats. Now let's do the likely ones. Likely Democrat first, because those are the most. Maryland, Olsenbrook's going to win by about 8. At least that's what currently the numbers say. Going to be a little broader, probably, but Larry Hogan was a popular governor, so he's going to get it a little bit tighter than it should be. If anything, this is the chance for the Republican Party to flip the seat, but it's not going to happen. Next one is Michigan. I currently have it at Slotkin plus 7. She's at 51% of the vote in my estimate. Can it be closer? Sure, but Mike Rogers definitely needs to flip voters from Slotkin to his column. He cannot do it otherwise. So let's see how it's going to happen. Next up is Pennsylvania, I currently have it at Casey plus 5.2. Of the three Rust Belt states, from Wisconsin, Michigan, and Pennsylvania, this one is definitely the closest of the three. So if there's going to be a sleeper flip, I suspect it's going to be Pennsylvania. McCormick is running a really good campaign, and there's several polls out there that have him tied or winning. But if McCormick manages to pull off a victory, it's going to be the same margin as Patrick Toomey had in 2010 or 2016, so it's going to be about 1.8, maybe 2 and 2.1 points between that particular range, if McCormick manages to pull it off, which requires a 7-point miss in polling. Bold win, she's going to win by about 6. At least that's the estimate right now. Can it be closer? Sure, but the problem is Eric Hovde, he is running a good campaign, but he's 4 points behind Ron Johnson at the moment, and that is something you cannot have. Johnson won by about 2 last time around. So you definitely need to do at least equal to or better than Ron Johnson if you want to become a senator. At this point, I think Baldwin is just going to win relatively comfortable. Next up, likely Republican Senate seat. So there's only one, that's Josh Hawley. He's going to win by about 9 at the moment, getting about 52% of the vote. Can it be larger? Sure, but down ballot, Missouri is always a little bit closer than comfortable for Republican Party. So 48 to 47, we have 5 seats left, and if the Democrats want to hold the Senate, they're going to need at least 4 of the 5 seats. So can he do it? First off, let's do from widest to slimmest. I think that's fun. The first one is Montana. Tester's done. At the moment, I have Xi winning by about 4 points. He's getting 51% of the vote. In my model, in the aggregate's about 40, or it's 40. It's about 50 points. RCP has him as exactly 50, to Tester being 44.8. That particular range, slightly below 45. Tester is underestimated in the state of Nebraska. In the state of Montana. So it's going to be a little closer than the polls have it at the moment, but he is still pulling it off. I'm looking at the right for my model. The next one on the list is the state of Texas. At the moment, I have Ted Cruz winning by 3.7. It's a little too close for comfort, but then again, Ted Cruz is getting 51.4% of the vote, and that's basically the floor of the Republican Party in the state of Texas. 51% of the voters will vote Republican no matter what. So at that particular point, Texas isn't really going to flip unless you import, like, let's say 2 million Californians to vote for Democrats, which isn't going to happen because the only reason why Ted Cruz is still a senator at this moment is because of Californians moving to Texas. In case you didn't know, Francis O'Rourke, he won the native Texan vote in 2018 by about 4. And because Californians moving to Texas voted for Ted Cruz in such high numbers, that's why he's still a senator. I bet you didn't know that. Alright, so as you can see, the Democrats have already lost the Senate because I've already had Trump winning the White House. Therefore, J.D. Vance is president of the Senate. It's very easy. Next state. I have Arizona. I should have done this one actually first. Gallego's going to win by about 4.5. Just, if the Republicans want to keep control of the Senate, or gain control of the Senate, just focus on the Rust Belt. The Southwest, you're done. That ain't happening. So, last two. Rick Scott. I don't know who's smoking crack, but there's no fucking way that Rick Scott is going to lose. He's going to win by about 2 at the moment in the polling, at my model. He is underperforming Trump by about 5. Currently. So that is a problem for Rick Scott. He needs to find enthusiasm, and he needs to campaign from a perspective of being literally the Trump candidate. He needs to tie himself to Trump in order to try and get himself over the hump. Last one, Bernie Moreno. I would have had this gone to Sherrod Brown by about 2 points. However, there are a few new polls coming out. First one is Remington, which had Moreno +2. Now we have ActiveVote, who also has Moreno +2. And as a result of those 2 polls, I have Moreno +1 in the aggregate. So he's slightly below 50. Brown is slightly below 49. So that's a flip. So 52-48 for the Republican Party. And it's 11 minutes. That's pretty nice. Pretty clear and concise. Alright, so for those who have skipped to the end of the video, because you're too lazy to watch a video, I'm just gonna hold a little prank for you. Let's do this. Not Delaware. Let's do a little joke. Bernie Sanders. That's a fun one. Alright, for those who skipped the entirety of the video, this is what I'm gonna think the Senate map is gonna be like. If you take this one actually seriously, you're just a fucking idiot. Alright. Enjoy your day, ladies and gentlemen. See you next time. Cheers.